So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm not sure if Anandita's with us, but if she joins in, we'll introduce her whenever she gets here. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We are very excited to see many new faces and some old faces. So as many of you know, we are from Troy University. Leo and I are joining Dr. Kumar and Dr. Vinnakota from Troy main campus of Troy University. And we're presenting for the College of Arts and Sciences today from our second installment of Webinar Wednesday. So thank you for joining us. So we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Claire Humphreys. You might have received some emails from me as Nancy Claire, but I go by Claire. I'm an international recruiter for Asia, Africa, Oceania, and Sweden, except for India. So our India recruiter is Anandita Halder. So if you are from the India region, you will be in communication with her.
Yeah, Anandita may be joining us later. My name is Leandro Suero. I go by Leo. I'm an international recruiter, just like Claire or Anandita. And my main regions are the Americas. There is South America, Central America, and North America, and also most of Europe. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We have with us, as Claire said before, Dr. Kumar and Dr. Vinnakota. I'm just going to give them the floor so they can introduce themselves.
Okay, hello everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
hello?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
All right. So hello everyone. My name is Suman Kumar. I actually graduated from one of the IITs in India and came to US to do my PhD. And I joined Troy University in 2011, and since then I have been, I think, a pretty good Trojan. I work for Computer Science Department, an associate professor at this moment, and also the Director of Graduate Studies. Glad to be here.
Hello all. So good morning, and thanks for joining the Zoom meeting, and thanks for interest to know more about the Department of Chemistry and Physics and the EET program and Department of Computer Science at Troy University. So my name is Dr. Raj Vinnakota. I'm the assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry and Physics. And I'm also the EET coordinator at the Troy campus. And I perform the research activities related to photonics, optoelectronics, and all semiconductor-based devices. So that's a small snapshot about me. And any questions related to EET, please direct to me. So I'll be the contact person for answering your questions. Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, thank you both for joining us today. We do want to introduce the College of Arts and Sciences, and we do have a brief video from the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. So we want to welcome him. He is Dr. Taylor. So we are going to introduce his video right now.
Hold on, because I don't think I shared with volume the first time. Let's share sound. There you go. So I should play now.
To talk to you a little bit about the College of Arts and Sciences and prepare you for further discussion about majors and programs that might be of interest to you. The College of Arts and Sciences is one of the 5 academic colleges here at Troy University, and we encompass the lab sciences, social sciences, and various other STEM fields. So, for example, we have 8 departments. In the social science area, we have anthropology, sociology, and criminology, which focuses on areas like criminal justice, social science, and sociology. Also, archaeology. We have the political science department. We have history and philosophy. Also, in some of the STEM areas, we have the lab sciences such as biological and environmental sciences, chemistry and physics, which includes the electronics engineering technology program, as well as computer science and cybersecurity, mathematics and statistics, and the geospatial informatics program. So we have an awful lot to offer. We look forward to any inquiries you might have, and we will direct you to whoever can help you with the area of study that interests you the most. I hope you find this event to be informative and helpful, and we hope that someday you come study with us here at Troy University. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Taylor.
To talk to you a little bit about the...
There you go. Okay. So we wanted to share with you the mission and vision of the College of Arts and Sciences. They offer, and Claire's going to talk about this after this slide, they offer undergraduate and graduate programs and a wide variety at that. So, the mission and vision of the college is, to offer it's a broad community of scholars, teachers, and students who work together to pursue knowledge, develop critical and logical thinking skills, foster intellectual inquiry, and promote the understanding of human society. And that is necessary to become an active and engaged citizen of the world. As I said before, at the undergraduate level, students obtain a well-rounded education that is comprehensive in both scope and content. And at the graduate level, students master a specialized body of knowledge and engage in original research under the supervision and direction of outstanding faculty members like Dr. Kumar and Dr. Vinnakota that we have today here with us.
So as Dr. Taylor said, we do offer at the College of Arts and Sciences graduate classes and undergraduate. And so you can find these on our website if you have any questions about the programs that we offer. I know today we are going to talk about electrical engineering technology as well as computer science, but we do offer a myriad of different programs. So you can see on the list here our undergraduate programs as well as our graduate programs. So if you have any questions about any of these programs, please let us know. We want to explain to you all the benefits of these programs. We have degree maps, specializing in each class of what courses we offer and everything. So please let us know if you're interested in any of these programs, and we can put you in contact with the faculty member that specializes in these.
Okay, so now Dr. Kumar has the floor. I will give him control of the presentation.
Thank you.
Host. Okay, now you can share your screen and with your PowerPoint slides.
Okay, so I hope it is visible. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much. I think it has been really excellent, all the introductions. So I'm going to talk about computer science programs at Troy University. So basically, first of all, I'm going to talk about the importance of computer science program, why we should pursue the computer science degree in general. Then we'll talk about what we have to offer as a university, as well as the town where the university is located in, and then some of our achievements. And that's where I'm going to end this presentation and then open the floor for questions. Okay, so. So as you know, our society depends on computers. So pretty much, if you look around, the world is fast changing, and the computer science field is basically inserting itself in pretty much everything, from the law enforcement to the healthcare to the governance of the city and so on and so forth. And this list basically continues. So computer science is everywhere. We know about the e-commerce website that is developed by using computer science technologies. Internet of Things is an evolving field, and a lot of you guys are probably a fan of cricket. And here is the unlikely application of computer science. So in 2000, India visited England, and Tendulkar was the best batsman of his time, around the time. And, whenever India visits any country, everybody wants to get Tendulkar out. And in England, they use the computer science technology. They actually use the data science. They found the highest probability of the line and length of the balls that they should be bowling to Tendulkar to get him out, and it actually worked. So that was a very interesting sort of the application of computer science in sports. So this continues. We have application in the animation, the movies that you see, health, cybersecurity, and the list basically goes on. So what field has best rated job? A strong job growth, and the people have been making the most amount of money. I mean, if you look at the newly billionaires, right? They are all in the computer science industry, right? You also have many job industry choices. All the industries, they need computer science folks. Basically, it has been a part of every aspect of your life. I mean, it has been touching every part of your life and been influencing all the domains. And obviously, that is computer science. Future jobs are in computer science. So this is a government data, and this basically shows you that, as compared to other fields, the most of the jobs are going to be in computer science. The highest growing jobs are going to be in computer science, and also the highest starting salaries are drawn by the computer science folks too, pretty much at all levels, on an average. So these are some of the industry, and as I said before, so you have a traditional computer science industry, as well as pretty much every domain in our life is influenced by computer science. Everybody needs computer science, folks. So computer science for you, change is the only constant. Basically, it is the field which is always changing. You have to keep up with that. It presents, new opportunity. If you look at, the App Store, you have new applications, and that open, like a new way of doing things, the new domains, new capabilities, and so on and so forth. So basically, it promotes learning, sharing of ideas, of course, critical thinking skills. It takes you places. You want to work in a small town like Troy, sure, you have computer science jobs. You want to work in Bombay, San Francisco, New York, yeah, sure, you have computer science jobs there. You also have opportunity to serve your communities, because it has such a diverse portfolio through which you can serve. If you want to work in the oil and gas industry as a computer science professional, you can actually do that. So as I said before, it links to the most other areas of study. And at this point, the computer science is essentially on par to give us a better future. So now the question is, why join Troy University, right? That's the question. So first of all, welcome to the city of Troy. This is a downtown, very beautiful place. I came here in 2011, and since then I have been here. And one of the reasons, because I really love this place. I really love this town. So some of the nice thing about this town, it is one of the fastest growing cities in Alabama. Actually, it is one of the top 10. I was actually surprised. One of the most affordable places to live. You have some of the world famous beaches. I mean, who doesn't like beach? Come on. I mean, you have Pensacola, you have Panama City, you have a Destin. Also, it has been rated as one of the top 50 best college towns to live in forever by Best College ranking. We are also on the cutting edge of economic development. New companies are coming in. We recently had new shopping centers, being developed. So town is really expanding. Currently, it is housing several tech companies like a CGI, Jitterbit, Lockheed Martin, and we have also new companies coming in. So probably in a year or two, the whole city landscape is going to change. So that's about the city of Troy. As far as the Troy University is concerned, we do have an Indian Student Association. It is a very active organization. People get together, they celebrate their culture. As you can see, we had a celebration of Diwali, Holi, pretty much like whatever you wanna celebrate. It is run by Indian students, governed by Indian students, managed by Indian students. So a lot of opportunity to celebrate, share, network with other people, and have fun in general. Now I'm going to talk about our programs. So currently we have 4 programs. So we have Masters in Computer Science, which consists of 33 credit hours. We offer this program both online and on campus. It is a specialization-based curriculum, so we have divided the whole thing into tracks. So we're going to talk about that later on. It's a project-driven curriculum, and that gives you hands-on opportunity. You'll be able to work on the real-life problems. Other than that, we have a Bachelor in Computer Science, 120 credit hours, which is also offered both online and on campus. We have a Bachelor in Cybersecurity, which is a program newly created. Cybersecurity is becoming a hot field, so we are always on the cutting edge, trying to evolve ourselves, look at the market, build new program, offer new courses. Then Applied Computer Science, which is a completely online. Now the Masters in Computer Science, as I said that this is a specialization based program, and currently we offer pretty much all the hot tracks. So the first track is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is becoming very hot. The market is expanding. The current market share is 160 billion. It is growing at 10% year over year. And some of the courses, some of the highlight courses are, the network and the information security, cybersecurity. Then we have a software development, which is a traditional computer science field, which is evergreen. It has the largest market share at this point. Then the video game design, this is the new concentration we created because we are getting a lot of demand. So we actually respond to a student demand to create like a new things so that we can serve them better. Also, we talk to the industry folks, ask them that what do you need from us, and these are the motivations to which we sort of like create new concentration and also evolve the existing concentrations. Then we have a bioinformatics that would help you to work in the health sciences. Basically, right now the data science is becoming the cornerstone when it comes to the development in the health and the pharma market, and it is a growing industry, a bit a niche but growing industry and very exciting. Then distributed systems. Here you learn about the cloud computing, learn about the the networking. Basically, you learn about how to create distributed systems. Artificial intelligence. Of course, artificial intelligence has been creating buzz for more than a decade now, and that is one of our most popular track that we offer through this program. So now on a job spectrum, so we have these programs. Master in Computer Science is pretty much like the advanced level of the some domains from computer science, applied computer science, and the cybersecurity. And as far as the jobs are concerned, these are the jobs that our students have been joining. So a lot of jobs, I would say. So we have a diverse faculties to meet your diverse needs. So currently we have many senior faculties. I think we have 5 or 6 associate professors. Then we also recruited in the last few years. We have been very busy, sort of like assembling people with the diverse skills, and so that we can serve the students' needs. So basically, if you look at, we have all the hot expertise. You think about expertise, and we have someone working in that area. So I think that is pretty exciting, and that is very attractive. As far as the department is concerned, we have a computer science club, which is again run by a student, and they have different things. They meet regularly. They have movie nights, events like movie nights. People get together, they order pizza, they watch some movies. They also have the game nights where people like bring their consoles and they play video games. They also like competed. In fact, I also competed, but I guess I was very rusty and I did not do very well. But some of the students, it's just they're just amazing. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the world is changing really cool. I mean, really fast. And as far as the computer sciences club is concerned, I think it is a very fun organization at this point. So just a snapshot of our computer science club, pretty nice club, to be honest with you. Then we have a state-of-art infrastructure. We have a computer science lab that has a modern state-of-art software. We have general purpose machine. We also have a free tutors available. Then we have a high-performance computing lab where you can actually do big data. You can learn Hadoop and Spark skills. We also have several GPUs using which you can actually do the machine learning. We have a state-of-art classroom. So we also created a new cybersecurity lab. So this is our cybersecurity lab, which is also a classroom, and this lab basically supports anything from ethical hacking to security auditing, anything you want to do. So if you want to go after some certification, you can actually practice on some of those skills in our lab. So again, this is just a snapshot we already discussed. We have our computer science focused career fair, which is organized every year in the spring semester. And this picture is actually from the career fair. You can actually see some companies here and a lot of students. And a lot of people actually get jobs and the internship opportunity through our career fair. Some of the recent notable student achievement. So you must know about the Pearson, which is a big publisher. We have been reading their books. So they organize a national level coding competition, and consecutive years, our teams secured second and third position. So imagine that you have, someone like, the Texas A&M, CMU, and then you have Troy University right at the top, one of the top 3. So that's very nice. This is one of the teams that secured the second position, which was led by me. Our students, they have been consistently winning hackathons, and sometimes the hackathons help them win internships. So for example, this team right here won internship at General Electric. Okay, our students have been working with our faculties and publishing in the peer-reviewed international conferences and journals. And this is just what has happened in last 2 semesters, I would say. Our students earned internship in Microsoft Department of Transportation of Alabama, like CGI and so on and so forth. So we basically have a long list. I just thought to put a couple of names here. They also found jobs in Radian, which is a very huge company. CGI, which is in our town. Alpha Insurance, which is one of the top recruiters. They have been very happy with us. TCS has been one of the very happy companies who recruited our students, over the years, and they basically show up. I mean, they try to show up almost every year in our career fair, trying to recruit more students. As far as academics are concerned, our student got accepted in the Florida State University as a PhD student. One of my students actually got accepted as a PhD student in New Jersey Institute of Technology. He is working on the machine learning problems at this point. One of my students who accepted as a postdoctoral researcher in Stanford University. So these are some of the recent student internship jobs and the academic appointments that our students have been getting. So this is it from me. Thank you so much for listening, and now I can take questions.
Where's the...
All right, we'll open the floor. If you have any questions related to computer science that you want to ask Dr. Kumar, we can open the floor to that. I know that in the chat, there's been some questions about visas and such like that. We'll answer that at the end of the presentation. Yeah. But if you have any direct questions for Dr. Kumar, he's happy to answer those right now. So if you want to pop those in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, we'll be happy to answer those right now. Dr. Kumar will be happy to answer those right now if you have any questions for him based on his presentation.
Yeah, if not, we have some questions that students sent in that we can answer at the end of the whole thing. But let's see. Yep. No. Right. If no one has any questions for Dr. Kumar at the moment, we can just move on to Dr. Vinnakota and his presentation. Dr. Kumar, thank you very much for that presentation. And I think I need, okay, I think you have to give me the host back so I can share the screen again.
Yes.
And I think that you've touched on a lot of the questions that students have sent in. They ask about how they can get involved outside of the classroom in different clubs. So you've touched on a lot of things that students have sent in question-wise. So your presentation was very thorough. Thank you so much for presenting. That was amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So we have Dr. Vinnakota.
Thank you.
So since I'm controlling the slides, you can just let me know whenever you want me to move on to the next slide.
Okay. Sure. Thanks, Leo and Clary, and thank you, Dr. Kumar, for a very good presentation on computer science, and also you touched a lot of things about the city of Troy and also extracurricular activities that students can perform at Troy University. So I'm going to skip that part. So because he touched a lot better. So before talking about the electronics engineering technology, let me give a brief introduction to the Department of Chemistry and Physics and what we offer. So the Department of Chemistry and Physics offer bachelors in both physics and chemistry, and of course electronics engineering technology as well. And we do offer minors in physics, chemistry, and electronics engineering technology. So any students who are interested in physics or chemistry, I mean, you can direct questions to me or Leo or Claire, and they can direct you to specific persons. And electronic engineering technology is a fairly new program, and it's growing very steadily. And we have good student bodies and good student numbers, and we are going forward with exciting projects and exciting results. So now let me talk about EET program and the courses offered, and what are the lab facilities available on the Troy campus, and what are the internship opportunities that you might possibly placed in summer. Before starting, I always used to get a small question from students saying like, what is electronics, right? So I mean, the only non-technical answer I can give you is electronics is a driving force behind the working of your computers and your cell phones and your smart gaming devices that Dr. Kumar talked about. So I know everybody uses them. So electronics is a driving force and behind all of the electronic equipments that you see. And another question I usually get is, what is the difference between an electronic engineering graduate and electronic engineering technology graduate? So you see a word technology there. So here's a snapshot that you can see on the slide, what skill set that an electronic engineering technology graduate possesses. So basically they possess unique skill set to apply the gained knowledge to perform activities related to research, building, installing, and testing and troubleshooting the equipments that are present in the industry environment. Okay, so whereas the electronic engineers develop all these technologies, okay, so electronic engineering technology graduates will use those developed technologies and will adapt to the changes and will perform all the installation and troubleshooting activities and rebuilding. So next, I want to talk about, can we go to the next slide? So next, I want to give a brief snapshot about what are the industries that looks for electronics engineering technology graduates, right? So here's a snapshot of some of very pioneer industry technologies that you have currently. So one is the semiconductor device manufacturing and modeling industry, computer hardware, which you can be used for gaming, and aerospace and defense, which you can work on designing some of the stealth technologies and use electronic devices for aerospace industries. And one of the fairly very new technologies of electronics industry, where right now the computer speed is very limited. So in order to increase the computer speed, so optoelectronics is one of the industry that can actually improve the computer speed. So you can work in that field. And the other industry that electronic engineering technology graduates work is in the communication industries as well. So hey, this is a small snapshot. So next, I would like to talk about. Can we go to the next slide? So I would like to talk about what is the skill set that an industry is looking in an EET graduate. So I have listed a snapshot of the main criteria they're looking in a graduated student. So some are like they have to have a critical and logical thinking ability, so where they can apply to design and test an equipment. So they need to also possess math and problem solving skills so that they can solve a problem that occurred at an industry so that they can save $1 million equipment. And also they need to have the observational and resolution skill set so that they can give an apt solution for a problem that's faced by the industry. Of course, you need to communicate everything through oral and written communication, so you need to have a good written and writing skills. So keeping all these trainings that needed for an EET graduate, so we have designed the EET program in such a way that students will be getting a lot of hands-on experience. And also the curriculum path is designed in such a way that every student will be gaining the following listed skill set before they graduate from the EET major. So can we go to the next slide? So coming to the electronic engineering technology program requirements, so you need to have 120 hours to graduate from the major. In that you will have 48 hours need to be for the general studies and 54 hours needed to be for your major field. And as a snapshot, I have listed the courses that will be offered and you'll be enrolling at the Troy campus. And the rest 18 hours basically for electives, and you can perform research activities related to semiconductors, polymer science, and optoelectronics on the campus. So here I would like to take an advantage and talk about one of the famous quote that I always like from Louis Pasteur. So he always says, without laboratories, men and women of science are soldiers without arms. So what does it tell? So every major should have a very good laboratory facilities. So that is where you're going to learn a real science. You can really apply what you have learned in the classroom environment. So at Troy University, can you move to the next slide? So at Troy University, the EET has many well-established laboratories. So one of them is the electronic circuits and devices laboratory, where you can design new electronic circuits and you can apply the technology that you learned in the class environment. And you can see some of the students, working on some of the electronic projects. We also have digital logic circuits laboratory, so where the students get to know more about ones and zeros. I know 1 and 0 everybody know, right? But ones and zeros is the only language that your computer communicates internally. It's not English. So you'll be learning about digital logic circuits and how to design different integrated circuits using digital technology. And we also have laboratories for microcontroller coding, and you'll be designing some of the smart devices using the microcontrollers and coding those devices. And you also, will be having a hands-on experience on 3D printing, design, and prototyping. So next, we also have, we can move to the next slide. So, as I mentioned previously, optoelectronics is, one of the, very, it's not a new, but, now most of the research has been going forward in optoelectronics industry. So to train the students in this emerging field of optoelectronics, so we have set up a very good optoelectronics laboratory in Troy University. So students will get all the hands-on experiences to the various components that they use in optics and how they interact with electronic devices. And we do have a robotics laboratory, so where you can 3D print the prototypes and you can assemble all the components, and you can code them using these microcontrollers that I talked briefly about. And you can see your arm being moving and holding some objects. Okay. Also, we do have computer laboratories where we have installed all the very good softwares related to the console multisim, which they use for the device physics studies. and also to design new circuits and new device technologies. So we equipped with the computer aided design laboratories as well. So next, I mean, after talking about the EET major, everybody has a question like, okay, I mean, I enrolled. So are there any internship opportunities, right? So within 20 minutes radius from the Troy University, we have many industries. To mention a few, Kimber is one of the industry. It's a gun manufacturing industry. I know gun, it's okay, but you know, it's a manufacturing industry. So also Lockheed Martin. So we have the missile assembly and manufacturing, you know, within 20 minutes. And, you know, we have Sikorsky. It's a helicopter manufacturing industry. So you can go ahead and apply for them and work there. And one of my current student, he'll be graduating next year, but he already got placed in Lockheed Martin. So you see, it's a hot cake EET. So we also have KW Plastics. It's one of the world-renowned plastic recycling industry. And we do have Willie Sanders. It's a lead manufacturing place. So my students, you know, constantly apply there, and they work as an interns, you know, in summer. So I mean, this is about a snapshot related to the electronics engineering technology. And I'm a strong believer that you need to listen about EET from a student perspective than from a professor perspective. So I have one of my students here, Michael. So he's going to talk about his experience related to EET. He's coming here. Michael.
Hello, my name is Michael Hirschman. I'm currently one of the students in the EET program. As Dr. Vinnakota mentioned, there are a lot of internship opportunities. I'm currently looking into them myself for the summer. He's only barely scratched the surface with what's available in this area. One of the things that we are trying to set up as students is an EET club. So we're trying to get enough interest into that to build a group where we can communicate with each other, as well as these industries around the area, to let them know, you know, what we are capable of, and also to just kind of work with the local community. I know one of the things I personally like to do is I like to build small beeping circuits for visually impaired kids during Easter and other holidays, so that way they can participate. And I feel like an EET club is something that would greatly help the local community, as well as help the EET program as a whole. So when Dr. Vinnakota mentioned that we are primarily lab-based, he is very serious on that. We probably spend more time in a lab than we do a classroom, where we actually use these fundamentals that he teaches us. And it really helps set a lot of these theories mentally, and allows us to utilize all these theories in developing products. Each class, we're required to build a project of some sort that utilizes the techniques we learned during the course. For me, I've made homemade thermocouples. I'm currently working on a homemade generator to show the theories of electromagnetism and things like that. And I know we're already planning our projects for the coming semesters, such as reflow ovens and, you know, other devices controlled by microcontrollers. So overall, I really enjoy the program. It has greatly helped me understand the local area, as well as my own skill sets. So I'll be available to answer any questions as well. If you have any student related questions, I have kind of a feel for the student life here in Troy, which can be a little different than the perspective of the professors. So I will be available for any questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, sir. So that's it, guys. So I will leave the floor for questions. Thanks, Clara and Leo.
All right, well, thank you so much, Dr. Vinnakota and Michael. Do you guys have any questions related to electronics engineering and technology for Dr. Vinnakota and Michael? I think we have one related to the department. It says, are there any scholarships from this department
And I think we had this question.
for
Yeah.
international students? Do you guys offer any scholarships through your department for international students?
We do have some scholarships. So if you can, direct me the question, we can talk internally and we can give you a better answer.
Okay, good.
Okay. And I think there was one, you kind of touched on you being in the lab and your work being a lot in the lab, but is there opportunities for you guys to do your work that you work in the lab? Is there opportunities to present that in research conferences and things like that? We did have a question submitted online about presenting in research conferences.
Exactly. So basically, as I mentioned, the students also work on some of the research activities coming to the electronics engineering technology. So I perform research activities related to semiconductors and optoelectronics. So as Michael talked, so he is also working currently with me in one of the research topic, and he'll be also writing a research paper too, apart from going to a conference and presenting. So you have both the opportunities. So going to the conference and also writing a research paper. So that will be helping you if you want to pursue your career for master's or PhD, that will widen your opportunities for joining some of the Ivy League universities.
And I mean, if Dr. Kumar, yeah, please, I see that you unmuted yourself, so you can answer the same question if you want. Dr. Kumar?
Yeah, okay. So the question is, do we have any GA position for international students in computer science program? So currently we have a, you want me to answer that?
Yeah, please.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so currently we do have a workship position, which is not exactly a GA position, but then I think international program, they themselves gonna tell you that they offer scholarships. And that's a very good scholarship. I mean, that makes the whole education experience, cost-wise, really, well, in my opinion. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, and and the question about maybe like writing research papers or have Dr. Vinnakota was saying that they do work in the lab and then they have the opportunity maybe to present the work or the research they do. Is there a chance for that in the computer science department?
Yes, of course. I mean, we have been, I personally have been writing a research paper with my students, and those papers have been getting accepted in the top conferences. For example, this year itself, I mean, the student who got accepted in a PhD program, I and him, we actually work on a skin health monitoring system, and we proposed the first distributed algorithm. And that paper got accepted in IEEE CCNC, which is a consumer communication and networking conference. And that is a sort of like academic analogous of computer science exhibit that takes place in the Las Vegas. So that paper actually got accepted there. So most of my papers, and I think some of my colleagues, they are also working with the students. Yeah, so we would try to involve both undergraduate as well as graduate students, and they participate in the idea development, implementation, writing the paper, to of course presenting the paper.
I think Majid has a follow-up question. I think he means the workshop.
Well, Majid, I will message you through WhatsApp on how you can apply for the GA positions. I think I've messaged you about that before as well, but we can address that later. Does anybody have any other questions about electronics, technology, in engineering? and we can move on to admission questions after that. But we do want to address any questions for Dr. Vinnakota while we have him here on the presentation, or for Michael, since he's given us a lot of his time as well. So if you have any questions about that program.
If not, do you have any?
Yeah, but we do have some of these questions that are submitted in general for both of you, but we can get to those after we go through the mission part. Yeah. So we're going to go through the admission process because I know some of you have questions about admissions, and that might help answer some of the I-20 questions that have been popped up in the chat. So we're going to go through the admission process really quick so you can understand the I-20 and such like that. If you are interested in applying to any of these programs that were discussed today, or any of the programs for the computer or for the College of Arts and Sciences, including electronics, engineering, technology, or computer science, please first apply at enroll.troy.edu. If you don't apply, you won't get admission. That's very, very important. So first you have to submit your application. It is a $50 application fee. So once you submit your application, you also have to submit your supplemental items. So from undergraduate or graduate, you have additional required documents that you have to submit to your recruiter. So it's either going to be me or Leo or Anandita, depending on where you are regionally. Once you submit all your documents, we'll email you, let you know that your application packet is complete and sent to the admission counselor for review. If you're a graduate student, that's going to go to the admission counselor for review and then to the graduate department for review. So that process can take anywhere between 5 and 14 days, just depending if you're undergraduate or graduate. Once your application has been reviewed and you've received admission decision, whether you're denied, admitted, pending more documents, if you didn't submit everything you need to submit, we will communicate with you the next steps. If you are admitted, you will receive an email from us letting you know that you have options to either pay your shipping fee to receive your original documents via mail, or now because of COVID, the Department of State and CVIS has allowed us to email those documents to you, but we have to email them to your verified Troy email address. So it'll give you steps to set up that. So we have to get formal information from you letting us know whether you want them to be mailed to you or emailed to you. And then you'll have to pay your I-901 fee if you're coming to on-campus classes. That's the first step in your visa process. And you'll do that with your I-20 and your passport information. So from there, you will be able to schedule your visa interview, fill out your DS-160. And then once you attend your visa interview, if you get your visa, you can schedule your housing. I mean, we're excited for you. We want you to be here, but there's some steps in there with your visa that we can walk you through later. But that's basically the roadmap to admission to getting here on campus for on-campus classes. If you're doing online, you skip the step number 4, skip number 5, and then you're ready to go for on-campus or for online classes. So from that, I hope I answered some of your I-20 questions and how long it takes to get an answer for admission. So we are going to answer the other questions in the chat. If you have any other questions, pop them in the chat or raise your hand. In regards to the I-20s and the visa interviews for Nigeria, it is a fun country, and you might be waiting a while for your visa interview because there's a lot of people in Nigeria wanting to come to the US to study. The first step, again, is apply. And if you haven't finished your application process and if you haven't submitted your documents, we can't issue you an I-20. So if you haven't done that, finish that process. The rumor is through CVIS that all embassies, unless you're in Brazil and you have a crazy case of COVID in that country, the embassies will be opening May 1st. That's the rumor, according to the Department of State.
It's not official information, but it's a rumor that we've been hearing that early May embassies and consulates will start opening.
So hopefully in Nigeria, if you've received your I-20 by May 1st, you can schedule your visa interview. But again, it's not guaranteed, and we hope that you can be here. If not, the option is always online classes. And you can start online and then transition to on-campus if you want to be on campus. You can always defer to the next semester if you can't get here in person. But again, you can always start online. And I know all of the computer science programs are offered online and on campus. Is that correct, Dr. Kumar? As well as electronics engineering. I think that you can start online to start your core classes. Is that correct, Dr. Vinnakota?
Currently, we don't have online, but we can work on it.
Yeah, but all core classes for freshmen coming in can start online for general ed classes. So if they're coming in as freshmen, they can start their core classes online. And then by their sophomore year, if they can get here, they can start in your program. So that shouldn't be an issue if you want to start online. So our next question, I think we see in here, if we've already answered the scholarship one, and we've already answered how long it would take. It takes about 5 days to 14 days to get an admission decision, as long as you've submitted a full application packet. That's the key.
Depending on the academic level.
Let's see. There currently are not any application fee waivers. We offer it twice a year for an open house. And if you've missed our open house last week, you unfortunately did not get an application fee waiver. So hopefully in October, we will have another open house, but currently we do not have any application fee waivers. We have some more questions on here though. I hopefully answered all of those fun little visa questions because they're a handle. Let's see. Are there any options to double major in the College of Arts and Sciences?
In this case, maybe computer science.
Or either computer science or either one. So I guess Dr. Kumar, would you like to answer that?
Yes. So you can do double major. In fact, traditionally speaking, we have had students who majored in math and computer science both. But I think Dr. Raj's program is amazing, in my opinion. If you look at pretty much any device, it has two parts, hardware and the software. So getting a double major in EET and computer science would be an excellent idea, in my opinion, and that would really certainly improve your chances, especially if you look at the Internet of Things market that is heavily driven by the advances electronics as well as the computer science apps, which basically sit on top of that. So I think that double major would be a hot cake, in my opinion. Yeah.
And just a follow-up, in case this comes up in the future, how many semester would that add to normally when you major in one program is 4 years, right? How many more semester would that add up to the program?
I think that depends on the students, because we do have the criteria, so you have to fulfill the criteria, and I think there are a lot of common courses, especially the general study courses. I mean, you probably have to talk to the graduate records, but the people who did the double major in math and computer science, I think they took 1 more year or 1.5 years, I believe. But again, I mean, some of those students, they were highly motivated, extremely hardworking. They took courses, and they were busy throughout the semester. But when they graduated, I mean, they did very well afterwards. Yeah, so that paid off. I hope that.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Dr. Vinnakota, I'm going to direct this to you since you do represent the chemistry and physics side as well. Can you tell us what are the benefits of having a degree in the STEM field?
STEM field, that's a good question. I mean, see, as you see, the job offerings are wide open for a STEM field. So you can even be working in a facility that manufactures electronic devices, or in a facility that manufactures polymer based, so which is mostly a chemistry based projects. And if you want to work in observatory, you need a physics major. And SpaceX, right? Everybody is like so fascinated about going to Mars. So if you're very interested to work there, so you need a STEM degree there. So all the major industries that you hear about, like Intel, Google, or any chemical manufacturing industries. For example, we have COVID, and the pharmacy industry has been growing like anything. So, the STEM field will land you in a place, where you can apply your skills and, all your visionary skills, you see. So,
Thank you. Is Michael still with us?
no, he
Okay.
left for a class.
Okay, well, I know that both of you kind of touched on different clubs and things that are available, but I was going to ask him if there was any other areas that students can get involved in outside of the classroom from a perspective of a student. But if I know also, Dr. Kumar, you talked about the Indian Association. I believe that there are associations for Nepali students, Nigerian students. I think most other cultures are represented well across campus. But can either of you speak to other areas that you know students can get involved in across campus?
So we have, so many organizations, international program itself, the house is the whole world. You think about the country and you probably have, something going on. And I was, I think a couple of years ago, before the COVID, I was at Nepali Student Association celebration in fall, and I was very amazed. The food was excellent. The performances were, out of the world. So you have, different kinds of international organization. And the good thing is, in those organizations, so it's not like, you have a Nepali Student Association, only Nepali students are working. What I observed was like, you had Chinese students, you had, the Nigerian students, you had Indian students. They are all working and helping each other out, sort of like, building a friendship for life. Other than that, so for example, like, in the computer science club, there was an offshoot from that club, and that was called a focus group. So it was a, like a video game design focus group. So people like, working together, like a sort of like, brainstorming, trying to come up with the game design. We also had, people from computer graphics. So we had, these kind of like, offshoot coming out of the clubs and organization. You have other opportunity, like in the city, you have a Rotary focusing on doing really good for the society. So you have, those kind of like, volunteer opportunity. I myself, involved with the Rotary. And we had a student intern who is going to manage our website. So we have, those opportunities. So you can not only get involved in the university itself, but also outside the university, you have, the various opportunity to participate, to build friendship, work for the community. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. I think the last question that I have, and I think both of you kind of touched on it, but I'm going to frame it a little differently because I know we get this question asked specifically a little differently. Are there internship availability built into your program? I know, Dr. Vinnakota, you said that you had summer internships. Your students apply for internships at different businesses in the area, but are there internships built into either one of your programs specifically for like CPT options for students? I know that typically a lot of students are interested in CPT and OPT and how they can make use of those options built into their F1 visa. And so I will direct it first to Dr. Vinnakota if you want to answer that first, and then Dr. Kumar if you want to follow up and answer that specifically for your program as well.
Yeah. So the answer is, in direct program, we don't have any class saying there's internship, but some of the students who are interested to work in some of the industries, so they're free to work, and we can substitute that for, his experience to one of the courses like senior design projects. So where, he has to write a report about what project he has worked on and all that stuff. So that's a small answer for for the question. And I mean, Dr. Kumar is much more experienced, so he can add more to it.
Thank you, Raj. So at undergraduate level, we do have a course which would satisfy the CPT if you do get the internship. So not only you are interning, but also you are fulfilling the requirement of the 3 credit hours. I mean, it's not a requirement, but that can be counted towards your graduation. So we do have that kind of course at the undergraduate level. As far as internship opportunities are concerned, we have companies like CGI, which is in town, and every year they basically if I'm not mistaken, there was a year they had 5 interns from us. Likewise, we have Alpha Insurance, which is located just 40-50 miles from here. Our students basically go there. So right now, currently what we have is we have students, because we have graduated so many students. We are now more than a decade old program. As an autonomous computer science department, and we have students, and we sort of like keep in touch with them, and many times they have internship opportunities, and they let us know. A lot of times the employer contact us, and we sort of like pass those opportunities to our students. So that's how it is done. And pretty much I think in my opinion everybody finds internship somewhere, and some students they make really good money. I mean, the student who got internship with the Microsoft is probably gonna make like more money as compared to what we make on a regular job. So that's pretty amazing. There was a student 3 years ago. He was from Nepal, and I'm trying to think. So he actually he got an internship with some company in Texas, and he made enough money to basically fund his education for a whole year. He was pretty happy about that. So we have those opportunities. So what we try to do here is we try to make sure that our students are well trained, and they when they go out as an intern, most of the time those internships are converted to jobs. And I think the part of the reason is our department does a really excellent job. I think the international program, they also did very excellent giving them very good experience when it comes to the international students. So I think at the end it works out, and it results into something tangible and long run, which is getting a job. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you guys both so much. We'll open the floor to any other questions you guys have, and if you don't have any more, we will.
Yeah,
did I miss one?
Yeah, well, there's a student who wants to know if, and I'm guessing this is for Dr. Kumar, if the department is doing any research on quantum computing.
To me, no, we are not doing. I think that this question should go to Dr. Raj.
Okay.
Quantum computing is his arena, physics.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can take that question. So not on the quantum range, okay? So I have the current research on the optical computing.
Okay.
So we design optical transistors, to fasten up the communication. Instead of using the electron current, we use optical waves to communicate all the information internally in the microprocessor. So that's more technical, I'm sorry, but yeah, we do that.
So I like to add to that answer. So the thing is, like, when we talk about the quantum computer, there are 2 aspects. So first one is the hardware aspect, which is I think the more important, which is the designing the machine, which basically mimic the the uncertainty. And I think once we have that hardware, then we can think about the algorithm. So when the Dr. Raj's department, they would do an excellent job, build something, then we're gonna come into the picture. So if you look at the computer science, right? I mean, they build the hardware, and then we have to think about what should we do with this hardware, So these guys, they give us like, multi-core machines, right? And then it's all our headache, how to build, parallel algorithm that can utilize, all the cores. And, the current state of the technology, the building the parallel programs is still at a very, initial stage. I mean, all the program that you run, that you see on your computer, they are not utilizing, all the cores. So basically what is happening is you have one program or the one process, on one core. So it is basically happening that way, but really it should be one process utilizing all the cores. So Dr. Raj, they create headache for us.
Yeah,
We
to add
try
on
to
that,
come up with.
to add on that, the name itself is confusing, quantum computing. So though it says computing, but it doesn't initially include any software related applications. So it's completely now in the budding stage of how this electron reacts in the quantum size regime. So it's most of a physics related topic.
Yeah, I mean, excuse our ignorance. It's just completely out of our area of expertise. So
he was an MBA, made master's, and I was psychology. So we are not in this arena, but I know from the computer science class I took, I was fascinated by it. So.
That is a great question. I have that question too, but from Dr. Raj.
I'm telling you, we are learning so much between the two of us on this webinar. So this is great, guys. We're enjoying it so much.
And I think that's it. Yeah.
Is any other questions? I mean, I know I feel like this has been great just for the two of us. So I hope our students are learning so much. This has been wonderful.
But we made it 1 hour and 6 minutes.
Yes.
And I think this is since we have any more questions, it's a good stopping point.
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys so much for being here with us. We do want to tell you guys about the upcoming webinars we are featuring for the other colleges. So you've joined us for the computer, why do I keep saying computer? I see the C and I think computer, but it's College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Taylor in all of his emails to me said CAS, and I think computer, but it's College of Arts and Sciences. And so our upcoming webinars are for College of Communication and Fine Arts and the College of Health and Human Services and College of Education. And I know some of you have joined us on every webinar Wednesday, and we appreciate it. And I think you're trying to figure out what degree you want to pursue. So I hope that something is sticking, and I hope that you're finding your path of what you wanted to pursue at Troy. And we invite you to join all of these. But if you have found your path already and you want to join the College of Arts and Sciences, we invite you to apply at enroll.troy.edu. And we appreciate Dr. Vinnakota and Dr. Kumar for joining us today. And thank you guys so much. Yeah. We've enjoyed every second of it. If you do have any other questions, you can contact us on our social media or in our social media. Yes. There we go. The slide didn't pop up, or at our email. And thank you guys so much for joining us. Today has been wonderful. And as always, we are here to serve you. So if you have any questions, if you need anything from us, please just contact us. We are here every second of the day for you. Yes. Dr. Vinnakota, do you have any parting words for us?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really thankful to Leo and Tara for inviting us to this webinar. And I hope it's an informative webinar. And I would like to see a lot of students interested in the EET, for the coming fall. Okay, welcome, guys. Before I see you.
Perfect. And right. I think Dr. Kumar, if he's still here, he's welcome to say anything, but I think he's headed out. So is he still here? I didn't see his name.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks a lot for organizing this. I enjoyed it immensely. Anytime I have an opportunity to share anything about the computer science or our program, it is always a pleasure. So thanks for arranging this, and looking forward to more events like that as far as the students are concerned. Yeah, if you have any question, my email is skumar@troy.edu. Shoot me an email. If you wanna call me, it's 334-670-5844. You can call me and we can talk. And I'm certainly looking forward to seeing you guys here in Troy University. Once a Trojan, always a Trojan, remember that. So thanks a ton, and best of luck for the future. Thank you.
All right. Thank you
All right.
guys so much. We appreciate every
Thank
one of
you.
you for joining us today.
Yes.
Have a great day. We'll see you later.
Yeah, see you on campus.